Congress, an initiative of the Nigeria Baptist Convention, is a gathering of young Christians from across the country. The first edition was in 2023 when the Nigeria Baptist Convention played host to 25,000 young persons at the Baptist International Convention Center, Lagos, Ibadan Expressway. It was indeed an unforgettable encounter, and this propelled the need to have a Rise Congress 2.0. And with just 15 days to this edition, we are privileged to have with us in the studio the Director of Youth and Students Ministries, Reverend Dr. OLAWUYI James, to share insights about this great event. You're welcome to the studio, sir.
Thank you so much. It's a privilege to be here, and especially to come and talk about Arise Congress and the great, amazing young people.
All right. Interestingly, even though Arise Congress 1.0 witnessed a huge success, there are still a lot of young persons in Nigeria who have only been hearing the buzz of Arise Congress. They still do not understand what it means. So can you elaborate on what Arise Congress is all about?
Thank you so much. Arise Congress is actually a vision of the President of the Nigeria Baptist Convention, our beloved Father in the Lord, Reverend Dr. Israel Adinani Akaji, the Zaki of Africa. And it came out of a burden about the future of the nation and the future of the church without the youth. So out of that vision came the issue of creating a platform to bring young people together that we call Arise Congress. So it's actually a movement of igniting young people to become champions in life and in ministry. So it is not an annual program per se, but we meet, at least we met 2 years ago. So it is a program whereby the total life of the youth is looked at, and we want them to be empowered, we want them to be efficient, we want them to discover purpose, we want them to know how to live so that they will become champions, so that they can make exploits both in life and also in ministry. So in summary, that is Arise Congress. So but the concept is also beyond program, where we meet for 3 days thereabout, whereby we ignite them. Then we now continue other things after the program. So it is a program, it's an all-inclusive program that is geared towards raising champions at such a time like this, because we strongly believe that without the youth involvement in church life, in community life, and in the nation's life, there will be no future.
All right, let's do a quick backtrack. Looking at Arise 1.0, what will you say stood out the most for you in terms of impact and testimonies?
Wow, you see, it was very unusual, and so many things stood out. Because while we were planning, I don't think most people, especially in our setup, believed that we could gather 10,000 people. Mm-hmm. So to eventually have more than enough people gathered together, what stood out for me was actually the move. There was a kind of unusual move. I saw youth crying. I saw some of them discovering purpose. I saw some of them who have not recovered from the impact of Arise Congress. And if you were there when there was an issue, and the type of praises that I've never seen in my life before, when there was a kind of sound and light issue, the kind of spontaneous praises that took place for almost about 30 minutes was quite unparalleled. So what stood out for me was the issue of we were able to discover men, and men were able to also discover purpose. And it brought, for us in Baptist also, we were able to break the gap between our youth organization, and the program brought all these young people together, and they were so committed to it. It was so great, it was so powerful. So the life transformation that we saw, the impact in purpose discovery that we saw is something amazing. And the denominational benefits also there.
All right. So 2 years after the first edition, now what is the motivation behind planning to have Arise Congress 2.0 at a time like this?
Thank you so much. You know, when we did Arise Congress 1.0 2 years ago, and we review, actually our own intention was to make it like a 4 years Congress, so that it will be very powerful. But just like a follow-up to the question that you asked, that was what brought about this. When people saw the results, both the young people, our churches, ministers, and everybody, they started advocating that. In fact, they passed a motion at the ministers' conference into Women's Show and also the Northern Ministers' Conference. They actually passed a motion that it has to be every year, but that if this can impact the life of the young people and they can respond like this, because so many people believe that young people are not too serious, but they saw this way they work. Can you imagine the way they have also transformed the social media of the Nigeria Baptist Convention, the security unit of the Nigeria Baptist Convention, the protocol and ministers' care of the Nigeria Baptist Convention? A lot of things just change as an outflow, even in the convention, out of this. So it came out of actually serious requests and pressure upon us and upon our Father in the Lord in particular, that look, don't let this thing die. And the president will also be leaving next year. And people just said, look, you can't start this and not continue it again before usually. It was the results and the impact that put pressure on us, if I will use that word, and also convince us that, look, this is a vision that should go on. Because the more lives that we touch, the better for us. If this is the program that can bring everybody together. We have departmental meeting. There is none of the gathering, whether it's the student, the youth, the RA, the leader, there is none of the gathering that you can gather that is presently gathering 7,000. It's only BSF that used to gather that kind of number before. But can you now imagine when you are talking about the number that we gathered? It was amazing if you can gather 25,000 people, and it became the largest gathering of young Baptist people in the history of the entire Baptist World Alliance.
Now, what would you say makes Arise Congress 2.0 different from the maiden edition?
Yes, Arise Congress 2.0 is very unique. The reason is that Arise Congress 1.0 opened our eyes to several things that we need to do and how to truly empower our young people and make them champions. And that is why Arise Congress 2.0 is multidimensional. There is the spiritual angle there, because without God and without Christ in the life of people, life is useless. There is a concept of serious emphasis on purpose discovery so that they can fulfill their purpose. There is also the focus on relationship, because we discover that many lives are being ruined on the altar of careless relationship and lifestyle. We also brought in professionals. There is a session that is for heroes, men and women who have made it in life, who have succeeded without being corrupt in every sphere of life. So some of them will be there with us to share how people can have breakthrough, the challenges they can face. We are also going to be having career fairs. We didn't have that because we are going to be empowering some people that will be taken up, and we are also partnering. We will empower some right there. We are also now networking and partnering with several companies to create jobs and also to help them, to empower them so that they can start business on their own. So this is a new innovation in Arise Congress. There are so many things. And also beyond, last year it was more or less like a Nigeria and West Africa concept. But this time around, we are even bringing people. We'll be having 3 people coming from US to talk about global opportunities. They will be exposing them to global opportunities that is without stress. As long as you are gifted, as long as you have skill, as long as you have potential, and as long as you have your results. So instead of you are just jabbering and you are struggling. So they will show them the path, and by the side way, they will also have counseling and interactive section so that these people can help. We are also having Professor Charles Ebu from the Leeds University in United Kingdom also coming. You don't want to go to UK or go outside for academics, and some are talking about I don't have money, this and that. There are opportunities there. So it will be coming live to speak to them. So there are so many things. The program is just well packaged, and it will be life transforming, destiny changing, purpose fulfilling. They can't just afford to miss this year Rise Congress.
Okay, young persons out there, if you're hearing, you've been seeing the publicity, but then you're hearing it from the director of Youth and Students Ministries that Rise Congress 3.0 is going to be fully packed and you don't want to miss it. And now let's look at the theme for this year's Congress, the emergence of champions. What inspired this thing?
You know, I said when God gave us the vision through our president, the concept is that so many people are too ordinary. And we believe in our department, through the vision of our president, that it is an abnormality for you to claim that you are a child of God and you are mediocre. You are not a champion, you are struggling with a lot of things. So we saw that the present generation are so endowed. They are gifted, they have potential, they are creative, but majority are not maximizing it at all. In fact, instead of them using what they could have used to become champions, many of them are rather using it and it's destroying their life. Look at social media. The platform that you can use information technology to become great is what some of them are even using to destroy themselves. So we saw that the potential we saw in the life of the young people, with little training, with little understanding, with little exposure and impartation, we can ignite them to make global impact and kingdom exploits. So that's what inspires us. The gifting, the grace that we see in the life of the people, and the situation we see around. It's like you see sleeping giants. These are giants. I tell you the truth, I have not seen a generation like this generation. They are so endowed, they are so gifted, they are so creative, but yet you can see the way they are living. And also they have opportunities, unlike our own generation or generation before us. The opportunities were limited. But this is a generation with unlimited opportunities. Also gifted, also creative, but yet not making it. So we see sleeping giants all around. So our intent is that, look, these people are giants. Let's wake them up and refire them so that they can be that which God wants them to be and shake their generation.
Now, let's go to the ministers and the content. You've explained to us some of the programs to look out for. Now, there's something unique about this year's Arise Congress. If you look at the flyer, we have about 23 ministers. And then not just 23 ministers, powerful names. The first, I think when the unveiling was done, the first name that shocked a lot of persons was the fact that we are bringing Bishop Abioye. Who would have thought? And then you see the way when the ministers were being unveiled, even up till the unveiling of Nigerian Baptist Convention ministers, people were wowed about the quality of ministers that are being unveiled for Arise Congress 2.0. Now, can you tell us what informed these selections?
You see, it's a blend of ministers. We felt that most often the youth think that these people are not there. And so some people don't even know that many of the people there are Baptists.
Wow.
Many of these entrepreneurs, many of these gifted people that are there, we have the best of the best. And even apart from this, people here, eventually again, we are still bringing about 4 champions who have made the mark in this generation that will be coming. Remita, the owner of Remita will be coming. So it will shock people. They have been using it. They will see it, and we thank God for his acceptance to just come so that people will know. I've just told you about Professor Charles, who from the Vice Chancellor of Lead Trinity University, who will also be coming, who is not even here, that are also other Baptists. So it's a blend of the top Baptist ministers. Academia, you see academia, you see professors there. So people, some of them think that Baptists are ordinary. That's why we are bringing Professor John Eyina, who will come and talk about to them about the Baptist heritage. Because we are also having a kind of denomination who come and share with them, and they will know that our faith is something that you cannot compare. In fact, I tell you, if you're a Baptist, you can't be nothing but a Baptist. It is the best denomination to be. We also look around, see young ministers and African ministers that are making waves. We also move to the area of music, and we are bringing at least 3. There's only 3 or 4 that you see here. You see one of our own. You see Pastor Lawrence Oyo. You see Pastor Lawrence Oyo. You see Omatola Sachs. You also see our brother Emmanuel. You see him there. But may I tell you that from within the Baptist young people, there are also about 8 emerging gospel artists that will be coming, because we will praise and praise and praise and praise. Bishop David Abioye will be there, Lawrence Oyo. And we also look at the issue of purpose and destiny. That's why we are bringing Reverend Gideon Akambi. We are also bringing Pastor Nike Adeyemi from Dista. So you see the blend. And from the core Baptists, of course, these are people that have been going all over the world. We want to raise great leaders. We know that Reverend Dr. Samson Adedokun is an expert in leadership. So he will be coming as an expert in leadership. And when it comes to breakthrough, grace, breakthrough, we are having Dr. Lola coming for that. So when it comes to other youth, we are having Michael Egbu, we are having the Hope Edoza, we are having so we are having just so many of them from different angles, because we know the interests of the youth are not the same. So we are bringing all this. But like I said, we also look at area of entrepreneurship. That's why we have Pastor Gbite coming. There is also a Baptist, the MD of Arade Oil, who will also be coming to speak to these people about business and entrepreneurship. And beyond that, you know, our board chairman is also coming. Honorable Sunday Dari, the former Minister of Youth and Sports, is also coming with some top shots, who also come and tell them how they can weather the storm of Nigeria's situation and politics and thereabout. So it's power packed. I can't just talk about these great ministers in all, but I want to tell my people that this is a program that you have to be. Patrick White is coming from US. So let me just stop there. Right.
Honestly, I mean, it feels like you should go on and on explaining the real rationale behind this.
And you know, when it comes to the nation and a lot of things, one of the peculiarity of Arise Congress, like I said, people look at Nigeria and say, how can I make it Nigeria? This and that. So we are bringing somebody that is so unique. You can't deny it. He's dabbling, he has partially dabbled into politics. He is a leadership expert and entrepreneurship. I don't know what we can call him. That's why we are bringing Fela Durotoye. So young people can know that you can shine, you can have integrity, and you can make it, and you can do things across board. So it's going to be great.
Yeah. Honestly, if you're not excited to be at Arise Congress 2.0, I really don't know why you're not, because we are excited about the quality of ministers that will be coming for this year's Arise 2.0. Now let's go to the issues of logistics and preparation. The convention is making plans for 30,000 young persons. And I mean, at the last Arise Congress, we hit a mark of 25,000, which means even though the plan was to reach the mark of 10,000 and the number skyrocketed to 25,000, now we're making plans for 30,000 participants. So how, okay, now let's begin with this. What can you say about the level of preparation so far concerning this number of participants?
You see, we are actually planning for 30,000, and it's quite challenging. Like, you know, gathering 30,000 young people from all over the country and beyond.
Yeah.
Because we still be having people, like I said, from UK, from US, and of course from the West African region, all from African region, West African and African region joining us. The preparation is in top tier. We are doing everything possible, from logistics to security. The security will be very tight, so we want people to know we are working with the top shot, and we want to appreciate the commissioner for Ogun State, and also our AIG, Adeoye Lafihan, who is the chairman of the security, and the security team. They are doing excellent work when it comes to the preparation, because that's the first thing that people will be thinking of. So we have made preparation for that. As regard accommodation, we're already working with Redemption Camp, and we already have reservation for people who are coming. The only thing we request of them is to pre-register, so that we can adequately allocate, because we will be allocating. Well, we are going there tomorrow, and we will be allocating. Hopefully by Monday we'll start all our allocations. Now, I'm not even too sure if it will not be more than that, because you know, usually I know some people listening to us will not know. We, in our system, in our young people system in the Nigeria Baptist program anchored by the Nigeria Baptist people, we hardly pre-register very well. But shockingly, this time around, about 18,000 are pre-registered. So if 18,000 are pre-registered, you should know that it's going to be a serious matter when you have about 18,000 that are pre-registered. So all the program is set, all the guest ministers are ready. So if you want to sing your no, another song, go ahead. If you want to listen to live message, just call me. If you want to be a great disciple, just call me. So all the arrangements, the facilities is being upgraded, and the media team are ready, the protocol are ready, and we are also praying now daily. We are having 21 days prayer. So apart from being praying all along before, so from the spiritual angle, we are having 21 days prayer. And on Saturday, we are also going to be having a general meeting. And next week, Saturday again, this week, Saturday, will be primarily with leaders, all the leaders and departmental officers and units. And next week, we'll be having general meeting of delegates to brief them about logistics. For example, we are appealing to them that as they come, they should not travel by night. So we are already providing stopover where they can stay. We have one in Kwara. We're also going to have one in the far north in Niger, so that at least when people who are coming from the far north, when they are coming and it is late, they can stay over and they can continue the journey the following morning. So everything is set, and we believe it's going to be great, it's going to be glorious, and they can't just afford to miss it.
Okay. Also, in this Congress, one thing that stands out, and on some platforms of young persons that I've seen people make a joke out of it and all of that, is the fact that the convention, again, out of the magnanimity of the president of the convention, we are going to be feeding over 30,000 now, because if 18,000 plus have registered, the numbers will definitely double by Arise Congress 2.0. So we are going to be feeding over 30,000 participants. How are we going to achieve this?
Let me confess, our president, there are two unique things I've learned in this program from our president. The first thing is a serious love and commitment for young people. The truth is that Dr. Israel Akanji can do anything when it comes to assisting, empowering the young people. I see him shutting things down, and we must appreciate such a leader. He has that conviction that the future not only belongs to the youth, even today, they asked to be involved. You know, one of the things that marked Arise Congress 1.0 was a symbolic handing over to the young people. And you can see the last two conventions, it has never happened before. He brought young people to minister at the convention general session, even to preach.
Yes.
Wow. Not one, not two. To preach at the convention session. That's unusual. Not all of them were even pastors. Only one of them was a pastor, was a trained pastor, and still not somebody who has finished, who is still just in the seminary, fresher in the seminary. You see, his commitment to youth ministry and raising the next generation is what is making it possible. Of course, we are so trusting God that as people listen to us, and I must appreciate several who have been supporting us. I must appreciate our chairman, Reverend Dr. Israel Christeleri from Shepherd Hill Baptist Church, Lagos, who has been doing a lot to mobilize support. I must appreciate our board chairman, Honorable Sunday Dari, and the entire board members who are also helping us. And as we give glory to God, we must appreciate this Nigeria Baptist Convention president. You know, I kept asking, why do we get money for this? I will just tell me, don't worry, that God will do it. So the three of them in particular, being led by the president of the convention, and our churches, some of our pastors' friends, everybody is coming on board. Because even accommodating 30,000 people in redemption camp, do you know, sometimes I wonder if people know how much that is going to cost. How many hundreds of millions that is going to cost. Accommodating 30,000 at the redemption camp. Then giving them a meal per day is not something in Nigeria of today. So we want to thank those who are supporting. So the convention is funding, our churches are supporting, individuals are supporting, our board members, our chairman, the committee, the council member. I must appreciate the MMU, the WMU director, all our directors too, and all the council members, the REV, Masha, BSF president, youth president, Lydia president, GA president, and their coordinators and directors. Let me tell you, the team is like no other. So that's why it seems possible, because everybody is doing what is within their power. And we are inviting other churches too, because we are still looking for partners. We still need people, we still need individuals who will be of great support to us. We still need companies who will come over, because this is the place to be. I can't imagine a great company not being with us in Arise, and you need young people. And it's exciting when every day I see people calling me, want to be there for this, want to be there for. Even today, I've received people calling just here and say, where can we come? We want to come in, we want to come in, we want to do this, we want to do this. So this is what we want. So we are expectant, and we know God will provide. Just like my father in the Lord will say, he has that faith that God will provide. And we've joined, myself and the chairman, we've joined our faith to him with our entire council that the Lord will surprise us.
All right, that is interesting to note. Now let's take a look at the issue of registration. Before now the mandate had been to pre-register so that you can have accommodation, but there are still some persons who have difficulties registering, and just like you said, people, young persons would wait until deadline before they turn out. And so what is the verdict concerning registration?
Thank you so much. You see, that's the most challenging aspect of it. Our intention was to close registration just 3 days ago, precisely. But to close registration that time with assurance of accommodation and feeding. And the reason is very simple, and I've been trying to explain. It's not as if we don't want people to still come thereabout, but the facilities in redemption camp is not our own. We need to book for it and also deposit and pay. And if we don't have the idea of the number of people coming, it can create problem like we had 2 years ago. So that was why we felt that if people pre-register, at least we can know the number coming and we'll be able to book that number of accommodation. Like I said, we are going there tomorrow now to book accommodation. And but you know, our president and the chairman, that they are people of large heart. And when I talk about it closing, of course, the two of them made me to realize that we should still extend and give provision for people who may still want to register. So we have increased the number of accommodation that we will book. Why are we trying to do that? We want to prevent what happened 2 years ago. You know, that last year, 2 years ago, that we had about 25. Only less than 10,000 registered a week to the program. And when it got to, is it around 12,000, as we were going around Tuesday, so we reached back to them to book more accommodation so that we have accommodation for 20 people. But immediately we got to camp within 1 hour. Within 1 to 3 hours that we got to camp. We were shocked about the number of people that were registering right on ground. Now in youth program, they have arrived in the evening. We can't drive them away. At the redemption camp, most of the chalets, the hostels, people have closed. They have gone back home. So we needed to now be running around. Thank God for the redemption camp. We must appreciate the leadership of the redemption camp in helping us. They are also helping us this time around to now start calling those people to come back and help us out. Can you imagine looking for accommodation for over 5,000 people around 8 p.m. in the night? We couldn't finish doing that until 4, 5 a.m. the following day. Carrying them, and some of them were not with vehicle. We needed to beg church to get vehicle and carrying them and now going to every accommodation available to just ask them to book it and pay for it, so that we don't want that kind of experience this time around. So that's why we're asking people to still register this week, so that at least we know where we are going. But we have asked them to continue to register. So we will pass information. I will soon be releasing a kind of update in the next 1-2 days, and by that time we'll be able to tell them exactly when we are going to stop, especially after our visit to the redemption camp tomorrow.
All right. Now, as we wrap up this conversation, after the 4 days of Arise Congress, are there structures put in place to sustain the momentum among young people?
Thank you so much. You see, the concept of Arise Congress is broad. Like I said, we talk about creating a movement of champions, a youth movement of champions for kingdom, exploit, and global impact. To sustain it, we have done some things through the leadership of our president again, I must appreciate him. One of the first things we did was that, yes, we have a department. Can we create a full unit, like an NGO, that will face this? And that is why, as a denomination, we have actually registered, we've registered Arise Youth Network for total impact as an NGO. So the NGO is registered with the federal government. It's registered with state government in Oyo now. Okay. We are registering in several of the states. So the youth, we are working with them so that we are even involved. That's why I said this movement is both spiritual. It is also about the rebirth of our nation. It's also about penetrating every angle of life. We are raising agents of change that will shine forth. Because like we said, the problem of light is the problem of darkness is not darkness. The problem of darkness is always absence of light. And if this generation can shine with the potential they have, no matter where they are, whether it is a campus or anywhere, we believe strongly that darkness will disappear. So we already have an NGO, and with our board and with the management of the NGO that is drawing a lot of things on the follow-up from the national level. Okay. Beyond that now, based on the mandate of the president, conferences are now being encouraged, and I want to appreciate conferences that have started to replicate it at the local level. We may not be able to come together every year at the national level, but we want every conference to replicate this. Then we are also upgrading from next year, and we'll be meeting at Bowen University next year for National Youth Conference. We are upgrading our National Youth Conference, the standard and everything, so that in between, the National Youth Conference will be serving as a very strong platform for Baptist young people, and it's always first week of August. So people can block it from this year. It's going to be a great and a special one. Southwest will be hosting, we rotate. So the following year, 2027, we'll be going to the east. So 2028, we'll be going to the north. So that even people who cannot come for Arise Congress, whether they are in the north or the east, they know that every 2 or 3 years we will be there for classical, life-imparting, life-changing, transformational programs.
All right, before we let you go, what is that message that you want to send out to young persons, the 30,000 young persons that will be attending Arise 2.0?
Let me first appreciate the executive committee of the EC, our chairman, Reverend Yusuf Gwada, and the entire team, our conference presidents and moderators. Arise would not have been possible or would not work without their support. The mobilization, I'm so amazed about what some of our CP, conference presidents, are doing, and some of our moderators, and some of our pastors. It's unbelievable. I've never seen that kind of support from some of our leaders before, our pastors and CP. Let me first and foremost appreciate them. Let me close by telling the youth that we said no youth, no future. But the future begins now. Arise Congress is a platform to equip, to prepare them. All Baptist young people must know that that is the place to be. I will be waiting to welcome them. The president will be waiting to welcome them. We want you to know that you are the future of our nation. You are the future of our denomination. In fact, you are the generation that we have been waiting for. You are the generation that the nation has been waiting for. And you are the generation that God is waiting for. And I want to tell all our youth that destinies are tied to your success. Destiny are tied to you. So you can't fail God. You can't afford to fail God. And you can't afford to fail the denomination. Thank you so much. God bless you and see you at Arise Congress.
Thank you very much, Reverend Dr. OLAWUYI James, for sharing with us concerning Arise Congress today.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Yes, Arise 2.0 promises to be a historic moment for this generation. The date again is September 3rd to 6th, 2025 at the Baptist International Convention Center, Lagos Ibadan Expressway. You should, if you are yet to register, the registration is still open as at now at the sum of 2,000 naira. Register. Help the convention to help you by providing seamless accommodation for the Arise Congress 2.0, and the theme is Emergence of Champions. At the last Arise Congress, Arise Congress champions emerged, and a lot of young persons are doing amazing things. So come this year to emerge as champions, as the Nigeria Baptist Convention is ready to host you. And that's where we wrap it up. I am Adiola Adegoke. See you at Arise Congress 2.0.